Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Saturday. All right, guys, so we made it to the weekend, which is amazing because now that means you can put your work away, go have some bottomless mimosas, make a memory or two, and just check out, which is sometimes the nicest thing ever. You know, Jason's been on his trip, which I've been so happy. He's having the best time. But at the end of the day, Jason does come back at 12 a.m. tonight, so I will be picking him up on a late flight. I don't know why he booked it that late. The point is, I'm so excited because I don't have to go to sleep by myself tonight. And, you know, sometimes it's good to go to sleep by yourself, but I have a lot of little fur babies, and with having them, it's nice to share the bed, not just with them. Anyways, let's get back into it, guys. We are back to talk about this Crystal Kung Minkoff and Dr. Tiffany Nguyen situation with Jennie Nguyen. Now, they have unfollowed Jennie Nguyen after her posts have surfaced from 2022 on Facebook. Jennie is getting a lot of backlash for this. I mean, her posts were absolutely vile, and that was Meredith's word, but the point is that's exactly what they were. Now we're back to talk about it and what's going on, as Heather Gay from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Lisa Barlow have now officially spoken out. Plus, we're hearing that there might be some more casting for Salt Lake City season 3. Guys, we have all of the details and more, but before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so thank you to Reality Blurb for another amazing write-up, and they're saying Crystal Kung Minkoff from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Dr. Tiffany Nguyen from The Real Housewives of Dallas have both unfollowed Jennie Nguyen amid the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City stars' racism scandal. Now, after Jennie was exposed sharing a number of racist and offensive posts on Facebook, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star and Real Housewives of Dallas alum stopped following their fellow Asian American friend, who has since apologized for her hurtful messages. Again, this is Reality Blurb's write-up, saying she is trying to learn about perspectives different from my own. News of Crystal and Tiffany's Instagram activity was shared by Housewives Addicted on Instagram. Now, as Real Housewives of Salt Lake City fans may have seen, Jennie posted her offensive posts on Facebook in 2020. Many of her disturbing messages targeted the Black community by suggesting that George Floyd died of an overdose rather than police brutality, and saying that if people followed the officer's orders, they wouldn't get shot. This is incredibly, incredibly insensitive. Jennie also suggested that the pandemic vaccine could maybe not be effective, considering there's no vaccine for influenza. Although Bravo has yet to officially cut ties with Jennie, it seems it's only a matter of time. And as filming continues on season 3, producers are said to be on the hunt for new cast members to potentially replace her and Mary Cosby, who seemingly walked away from the franchise when she failed to show up to the season 2 reunion, which would have technically violated her contract and her agreement. But she did say in an interview on Twitter Spaces that she technically hasn't quit and she technically hasn't been fired. So there's definitely that. Now, it was said, and this was by someone, a tipster, so to speak, my boss was just contacted on Instagram by the casting director of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and they said they are still casting and looking for diverse women. Then in another message shared by Dumois, a Real Housewives page was seen confirming that they are still looking for some additional women to add to the cast for season 3 and offering an email address to contact if interested. All right. So, I mean, you would think, yeah, that they would have to be looking for the next women for season 3 because, well, that would make sense, especially if Jennie Nguyen and Mary Cosby are not coming back. I mean, who knows? Jennie Nguyen right now might still very much so be in the running. I don't know where Bravo is going to draw the line as far as what is acceptable, who they'll keep around and who they won't, because there have been tweets that have resurfaced in the past. In Vanderpump Rules firings, for example, they fired everyone who had a scandalous tweet, who had a racially insensitive or offensive tweet, which rightfully so. I think people fail to remember that this is such a huge platform and what you say has an impact. It's like watching the news and seeing what's happening in the world. You know, one news station might say one thing and another might say a completely different, but people will listen to it and they'll think, okay, that's exactly, this news outlet said this, so I believe them. And for Jennie to use this platform, and mind you, she posted these posts before ever going onto the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but it still falls under her name. People now look up to her. They're watching her on the show. And if this is coming from her own personal page and she's issued an apology for it, it's still out there. So I think it's careless when you have a public platform to put out insensitive material like this. And I'm wondering what Bravo is going to do about it. Now, we did talk about yesterday that Meredith Marks, Jen Shah, and also Whitney Rose, they all did write-ups. They all kind of shared their opinions as to what was going on with Jennie. Now it looks like Heather Gay and Lisa Barlow have also shared their opinions. This is what was said. Heather Gay said, "I can finally speak out today, and I want to say that I am deeply shocked, saddened, and disappointed by the blatantly racist and derogatory statements reshared and liked by one of my fellow castmates. There can be no haven in this world for hateful, anti-Black, and violent rhetoric. It is up to all of us to do the work of anti-racism and educate ourselves on the experience of others. I am constantly learning and want to use this platform to lead with love and empathy while condemning actions of ignorance and racism." And at the bottom of her post, she put "Black Lives Matter, and I will never stand beside or support anyone who says otherwise." And then she said, "Silence," this is her caption, "silence is not an option." Of course, Dr. Tiffany Moon came in and applauded her. Whitney Rose said, "Well said, Heather." I mean, a lot of people were happy that she finally spoke out because she was one of the last of the cast members to speak out. And so was Lisa Barlow. Lisa Barlow said, "My heart is so very heavy right now. I feel true hurt and disappointment by the posts that surfaced this week. I do not condone nor am I aligned with them. The posts were harmful and hurtful to a community that I love. Working for change is constant. It's something that I personally work towards daily. Through action is where we all have the most impact and where we can have change that lasts. I always want to be a part of the change and support, well, be a proponent for improvement." And she said, "My heart hurts for those who are hurting." Now, again, this is spreading like wildfire. This is a big deal. This is a big deal because everyone is now looking to see something happen with this. They understand that Jennie issued an apology, but most people, if you're reading social media in the comments, most people are not accepting her apology. And my question is, will people not watch Salt Lake City if Jennie Nguyen is a part of filming? Because we've seen it before. A lot of people don't want to watch Real Housewives of New York this upcoming season if Ramon is on it. People were boycotting Orange County because Kelly Dodd was on it. And it's because they are insensitive in the way that they come off. And now for Jennie Nguyen, these posts were also extremely vile and insensitive. So I'm wondering if people will boycott it. Will Bravo end up having to fire her? I think that's a question that I have for all of you guys, because at this point, I don't know what's going to happen. Of course, I wanted to bring to you what some of the other cast members are saying, but I really wanted to ask your opinion as to what do you think the future looks like for the franchise and for Jennie Nguyen as part of being on the franchise? Guys, I know you have all the opinions and more, and I know that this is, you know, a more sensitive subject to touch on, but it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be talked about. We can't ignore situations like this, and we can't ignore when someone has a massive public platform and this is how it's being used. Obviously, it needs to be talked about. So of course, I want you guys to continue the conversation in the comments, and I hope you have a beautiful Saturday. I love you guys so much. Just remember to lead with kindness, spread love, and be positive, because by you doing that, you might just smile at someone and completely change their day. I know it sounds crazy. I had it happen to me yesterday. I was having a little bit of a harder day. I'm not used to being by myself. It's weird. And I had this woman at Trader Joe's who just said, "I like your jacket." And she smiled real big. And then she's like, "And you have pretty teeth." And I was like, "What?" And it just, you know, it's a compliment. She might not have meant it, but it makes me want to go somewhere today and compliment somebody. Even if you're walking down the street and you're wearing a garbage bag, I just want to be like, you know what? You're rocking that garbage bag and you look beautiful. If that puts a smile on that person's face and it brightens up their day, why not? It's free. So I'll stop on my rant. Don't forget to smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, get subscribed, and I'll see you guys so very soon. Bye, guys. Love you.